Oh, what a pleasure. It has been an amazing journey since we started, and up to now it has been a wonderful journey, and it's continuing to be wonderful because we are in the grace of God, and we are privileged. We have found pleasure in God. First of all, I would like to greet the Kalanga people, especially on my group, those who have been we have been together since last year in ups and downs, and a lot of things has happened, but you guys, I would like to thank you because a small group will now expand, will be able to grow, and our message will be able to come out of us now as a small group that we are doing the underground work to the world. I would like to greet you, and I'd like to greet all the Kalanga people, our clan, because you have found us. It means now it's like an unstoppable spirit that drives us to find ourselves and unite us. Today, the people from Botswana, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Mozambique, as well as in South Africa, they will see how powerful God is and how these Kalanga people now we are coming together, and how we'll be able now to rewrite our history that was buried, and how our kingdom will going to rebirth from how it was scattered all over and it was lost in the community. We think that the journey has been amazing, but I've never gave up, and a lot of things has been said, but now guess what, we are officially open now to the public, because now we'll be engaging with the public, we'll be engaging with the government, we'll be engaging with the traditional leaders, we'll be engaging to foretell and foretell exactly of whom we are. And a lot of people will be caught, those who buried our history and never write about it and made a lot of unnecessary lies that we are not known, and that everyone who has every kingdom that superimpose itself on the Kalanga nation, the Kalanga kingdom, will be brought down, because we are here to strike the battles now. So I thank you so much that I said that when times comes, you'll be able to see me standing to the public without fear, without any expectations of those who can manipulate me or can manipulate us, and of those who are dividing us, and of those who think that the Kalangas are dumb people, or those who think Kalangas are weak. We have never been both weak, but we are born as humble people. But when times like this comes, we strike, and we strike with the spirit. Our body can be made of fear, but our spirit is never fear, because it is the spirit of Israel and the spirit of God Almighty. A lot of people have been wondering, who are exactly these people? What is the Kalanga? In short, let's just be honest. Kalanga people, we are Israel. We are the descendants of Israel. And our veins and our bones, our ancestors, are the ones who came first from the north, from south, between Egypt, Ethiopia, and Sudan. From north, east, they came down to southern Africa. And they were the first early settlers of southern Africa. And their first city state was in Limpopo province, in Mapungubo, which is until today. So this information now, it will be backed up with history, with scriptures, and with this through the spirit of truth of God Almighty, on how He hided this kingdom. Because we can't talk of Israel without God Almighty. Because God Himself, Israel, we are His firstborn. and God Almighty is gonna delight in us. So you see now, Satan can fight his battles, can delay the process, but we never back up until now we are officially into public space, whereby this information now it will serve as a witness through scriptures and the people to know exactly who are the real Israelites. Our identity is very simple. You can access information in your own research, not only based on my findings. You may say I'm a liar, but now you know exactly who are the Israelites. And we are opening to the public, because for you to be identified with surnames and all other things that you are now, look at yourself. The surnames that we have today were our ancestors who designed them, who sat down. They're saying we are trading with a lot of people, we are coming a lot of people, but our identity will be lost. So how can we identify ourselves? Remember, in the Bible there was no surnames. So it's them, because of their wisdom, because of inspiration, because they walked with God, they talked with God. They are the one who sat down and then they took our surnames based on animal body parts and animals. Lions, elephant, zebras, buffalo, and you can name many based on your own surnames. For example, who are the elephant? They are called, even here in Malawi, they are Nzovu. We have got people of those surnames. In South Africa, we have got those who are called Ngovu, and all those surnames of your language that maybe I cannot be able to pronounce it well. But I'm just giving you an example. And here in Malawi, we have got Tembo. The Tembos are zebras, and we are called them busy in their totems. And it's the same people who are there in South Africa, they're in Zimbabwe, they're in Botswana, in Southern Africa. We are sharing the very surnames. Like I myself, Moyo. Moyo means heart. And then we are, it's just an identity of surnames that our ancestors, as the kings, identified themselves as kings, as the lions. There comes Moyo as the lion. And the same thing goes to our totem, which we call is an ox. That's why you say we are Gonori Ngombe, the ox, or the male cow, the male cattle, the male bull. That's whom we are. All these things are identity of us as clan, because Kalanga is not like only the Moyo people, no, but it's a nation of 12 tribes of Israel. So, in order for me not to take a lot of your time, we know that social media with database, we don't want a video that is a very long video that will not attract exactly what we are hitting the nail on his head. But the nail on his head is that the book of Revelation, based on the Kalanga people, has been revealed. And for those who are my enemies, and for those whose kingdom was built and imposed itself to foretell the story of the Kalanga people, and those who thought that there will be no issue that will uprise and bring back the kingdom, that time has come. Because as I was in South Africa, it's where I learned our identity. Here in Malawi, for example, we are known of our roots trace to Zimbabwe. Because that's why they say Moyos are from Zimbabwe. And that gives us to understand that there was no a country called South Africa. South Africa is not a country. And that is called the whole of Southern Africa that is now South Africa called was North Southern Rhodesia. And we read and we studied this in our history. So history, it is the best teacher, as other people, social media users, they say. So this history is gonna capture those who are the enemies of the Kalangas. Because now we have identified exactly whom they foretell the wrong information, wrong story about exactly who were the early settlers of South Africa, because there is where the fight is. A lot of people, they know the truth. Even when I'm traveling, when I'm telling them, they know the truth. There was never a country called South Africa. But why there is a country called South Africa? There is a country called South Africa because the Boers, the Dutch people, chased our ancestors, colonized, took our land by force with the guns. And then our ancestors had to group in the second city, which was Great Zimbabwe, before the first city of Mapungu. So that's why a lot of people, they are questioning. They say they think like, Moyos are Zimbabwe. Yes, we are of Zimbabwe as our second largest city-state. But our first city-state is South Africa. They are in Mapungu, in Limpopo province. That's why Limpopo province was known as Moyo Empire. And these white people that now they will answer, they will listen to this. They know the truth. Because they impose those guys of Khoisan, our friends of Khoisan, they are kind of saying that they are the one who were the early settlers of South Africa, which is not true. South Africa, to start, it started there in Limpopo province. After they took that area and they chased the Kalanga people, is where they said South Africa under the Dutch imperial, under the Dutch people, before even the British came to Cape Verde. So between these two people, after they had the Boer War, the fight, that they did fight for among themselves, and then after that fight, long story short, they surrendered on each other. It's where now they introduced apartheid and slaving of the people of the indigenous of the land. And they were using those Khoisan to trace people who had to run away from the slavery. Those who built, now called Cape Town. They don't know that Cape Town was built by slaves. So, my fellow youth, let's start the history without judging ourselves. Let's start the history and then let's go back where things went wrong. Because now we are just a generation of, a confused generation of segregation, generation of fighting among ourselves because of money. You don't know that now we know every organization that is established that fights against foreigners is under influence or is sponsored by the white people. I don't know why they call themselves white. They don't look like white, but anyway, because they say themselves they are white. Because me, I don't see anything that looks like white on them. But they look like a sea of sand. The color of sand from the oceans. Because their identity is just like a mixed identity that manipulated the whole kingdoms. Now they will think like we're speaking of treason, because that time now has come. They have tried with me, and I hope now this is like the end. They have failed. Because now I'm into the public and I'm going to do the uprise as I'm doing, and I'll be able to educate my friends, my people, and I'll be able to educate in Southern Africa, here in Malawi, in Africa at large, so that we must have unity among our fellow dark people, African people. We are not black people. I'll always say we are not black people. We are dark people. But in our local languages, it's very difficult, and our language are limited. We can't. It's very difficult to describe ourselves in our mother languages as to put it in a dark one. Then that's why, if for example here to put in this FIPA, we are not FIPA. FIPA is like black. We are not black. We are dark. I've never met a black person, and I'm still looking forward to meet a black person, of which we are all dark. And this will bring a stop and put to an end this xenophobia attack that is happening in South Africa there. Because now also as the Kalangas, we are coming there. I hope there in Pretoria I've already presented and give our forms that we are reclaiming and the recognition of Kalanga nation. And you know our history. Here in Malawi is strange. But because of the skin color that we have, and that we share the common purpose, and we have identified ourselves that we, the black people, that we are calling us black, as the dark people, we are the little Jews now, based on the trace of exactly who were our ancestors, the Kalangas.